All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
We're a couple brothers here from GMS Land Church, coming with another lesson through the Spirit. Before we get started, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kwakadash. Double honors to our apostles, our elders, the great millstone, the lead teacher, rule well. Love and honors to our fellow occupants, pushing the word in truth, faith, and sincerity across the four corners. Shalom to you, sincere listeners who listen and subscribe to the men and doctrine of the great millstone. Like I said, it's a couple brothers here from GMS Land Church. Obviously, 2020, March is wrapping up, continuing to hit with a bang. Of course, we have the coronavirus being the latest thing that's really shaking the American dynamic of this current system and social structure. But this is just a continuation of the prophecies in which we've been pushing here at Great Millstone, collectively getting with the apostles and elders for years. We have an article here going into the National Guard being deployed, in which we understand that's just another step that Esau, Edom, the so-called white race, is implementing to enact the martial law part of their New World Order plan or agenda. But at the end of the day, it's all prophecy that's written and given to us by Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Anything you want to throw in?
No, I'll just get right to the article.
Okay, you get right to the article then. And this is from thehill.com. It was printed yesterday being Saturday, March 21st, 2020, year of prophecy. Today being Sunday, March 22nd, 2020, year of prophecy. It says nearly 5,500 National Guard troops deployed to combat coronavirus. The National Guard has deployed nearly 5,500 Air and Army National Guard troops in 32 states as of Saturday to combat the coronavirus outbreak. The National Guard told The Hill that those figures could change rapidly as states identify needs, and that missions for the troops include training and sample collection, response planners, support to medical testing facilities, response liaisons, and support to state emergency operations centers, support to healthcare professional assessments, transportation logistics support, assisting with disinfecting cleaning of common public spaces, providing transportation support for healthcare providers, collecting and delivering samples, and assisting with sample administration.
If I could say, that goes into a lot of people were, they're showing videos of troops, medical equipment being deployed to Chicago and different parts, different states, and people in the comment section say, that's a base. That's by there. They do this all the time in Chicago. No, this is the real deal, man. All right, this is what's going down. If it's in 32 out of 50 states, and they, Esau, man, they probably got everything set up in all 50 states right now. So this isn't some hoax, man. The quintessential American person thinks everything is a joke until you got, literal troops dragging you out of your house, man.
You got any precepts or anything?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
2 Ezra chapter 16. I'm going to start at verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So the word sedition actually goes into people going against the governmental authority. And that's what we see going on right now. There was a video that Elder Yashawama put up of this hood in New Jersey, and Jake was like, man, F this quarantine, man. This my hood, nigga. You ain't gonna take me nowhere. People, especially our people, man, they having quarantine parties right now. The music is turned up in the neighborhood. Jake going to go get their sack, get their last party in before they got to be in the house. But, 2 weeks from now, or however long this thing lasts, Jake is going to get restless, all right? And they're going to be like, F the quarantine, we out here, what you going to do? All right, they're going to be rising up against the government, and Esau is not only going to use the National Guard, he's already got UN troops in place. There was a video today in the group text of UN troops, UN supplies being delivered to Atlanta. So not only is the National Guard here, the United Nations is here.
But you know, like, you gotta break it down in the piece to the people, man. Like, it's the UN troops are more likely to come. International troops are gonna come to America, but just understand the prophecies of build up, man. You know what I'm saying? The National Guard, those are gonna be the first lines, other than the local, state, local and state police forces, in which they're only going to deal with the feds at a certain point until there's a national emergency, so to speak. So yeah, these international troops, they're being set in place, but the first things it's going to start with is going to be like the implementation of these National Guardsmen, man, in which, if you go into all the different roles that the article said that they were supporting, they go to show you that this is just like a second line, that's a defense, so to speak, to that Esau has in place to in the event of these social uprisings, man. You know what I'm saying? Just because, I mean, and they've used them in the past. It's just been different events. Just like the so-called civil rights movement, you had National Guardsmen deployed. But the thing about it is, you didn't have, even though there was social unrest, in which that's going to be another level of social unrest, in which that's what Esau's going to have to enact as martial law. You haven't had a social unrest on a complete level and scale, in which is going to happen, especially through a pestilence, man. Through a pestilence, it's going to affect and hit the mass of people in a different way, in which it's going to boil over and affect every course of life.
Right.
Yeah, any more?
I'm going to go to verse 17. It says, "A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able." And that goes into martial law, and that's in place. It's a full lockdown in California, in New York. All right, Esau tries to use these little subtle words like shelter in place, things of that nature. But that you can't go anywhere in California, man. There's curfews. All right, there's certain curfews. There's not a shelter in place here in Atlanta right now, but in some cities in Atlanta, curfew was is at 9 o'clock.
Depending on the county.
Yeah, depending on the county where you live at, and Athens County where the Georgia Bulldogs play, there's a shelter in place. So it's getting to a point where you gotta do your day-to-day, go to work, get some groceries before a certain period of time, because you can't leave your area after a certain period of time, and there's gonna be fines with that. But it's gonna later on, like the brother was saying, this is the beginning stages. But when they set that mandatory curfew and there's real life troops out here, you're gonna get detained, man.
Yeah, you're gonna get detained. You're gonna get shipped to certain camps, and with those are what? Concentration camps.
Yep.
You're gonna get and you're gonna be forced to put in the labor camps, man. But it's gonna be so bad. There's gonna be a lot of people who want to do that because for the lack of food and bread, and even to a certain extent, social interaction and engagement, man. Because that's a part of life as well. You got to think, let's say martial law going on for 2 or 3 weeks, and they begin the process of chipping people. If you ain't built up through the spirit, and you out there by your lonesome, and you like, man, shit, man, I can go get chipped, be with people. Yeah, I have to work, but shit, I work for my food anyway. And you just get weak and go in there and get chipped, man, and become part of Esau's New World Order system. But pursuant to the Book of Revelation, you do that, you're gonna be surely put to death.
That's right.
You got one?
I got one in 2nd Ezra 16.
Go ahead.
All right, 2nd Ezra 16. I'm gonna start at verse 26. "The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men." Verse 27. "So that one man shall desire to see another, and to hear his voice." Verse 28. "For of a city there shall be ten left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks." So, like the brother was saying, it's not going to be any more social interaction. The internet is going to be cut off very shortly. People are going to start bugging out. They're going to be like Tom Hanks in a Castaway movie, man. And they're going to want a desire to be amongst people, and that's going to lead people to get chipped, man.
Shit, equal slavery.
Yeah.
Even to a certain extent, even with us, man. When the internet and phone service go down, we ain't gonna have us to, certain group chats and certain things of that nature to keep us preoccupied. We gotta already be locked to the spirit to where it's like, hey, it's go time. It might be you and three brothers be able to link up, and it's time for y'all to just go out there and hit it. You know, it's time for you to leave your shelter and just go out there and hit it and go on faith. That's part of it too, man. You know what I'm saying? Whether, you might have certain family members or loved ones, you're able to kind of time it out and be like, listen, you need to get to this point in the next 48 hours, and they're able to make it there, and they're gonna ride with you, low once in your house shall return. Or you say, hey, I need you to make it here in the next 48 hours. They don't make it. And you're like, hey man, they ain't make it. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you might get weak and try to wait for them another day or two, get rolled up on, and get put to death.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But either way, we gotta understand, like brothers been going into a lot as of late, the severity of what's to come, man. This devil is gonna really allow his hatred and his horns to show. His hatred towards just life in general. All right, because these devils, they're so destructive and demonic and devilish, they'll kill their own for the chance of them ruling and reigning. Okay, but you're gonna see an overall level of judgment going forth and sanctioned by Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that we're gonna have to be able to remain focused and just really just allow ourselves to scarcely be saved through.
That's right.
Yeah, you more on that?
No, I said on that.
I got something. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, start at verse 20. So I considered the world and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a great of the cluster and a plant of a great people. Let the multitude perish then that were born in vain, and let my great be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. So once again, this is just another part of the script of the movie, so to speak. All right, sometimes you have certain conversations with just people in general. It's like, man, I feel like I'm in a movie, man. Like I feel like I either been here before, or it's something. I feel like this is something like this movie I never seen. And we really are part of we're playing a part of a script out, man. These are all things that Yahweh Shem Yahushua, before he even created the earths and the heavens and all the things that we can see on a certain carnal level, he already played out the end from the beginning. And a lot of this destruction and things to come, pretty much is designed and made ultimately to touch the wicked, but it's also designed and created to enable us to become made more perfect and allow us to be the cluster of the grapes of the noble vine of the chosen line, okay, that Yahweh Shem Yahushua deals with his nation of Israel, consisting of so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and the confusion of faith spread abroad, man. You guys know?
Yeah, this is Isaiah 46:10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. So this is comforting to know that the Most High has already gave us the blueprint and the cheat code to these scriptures. We know through the Spirit what this devil's going to do. Brothers through the Spirit, doing lessons on how this devil's going to come down, man. Right? And that chosen vine are going to have the mysteries and the secrets. So that's comforting to know. It says, my counsel shall stand, not Esau's counsel, not the other nations. All right, this is the Lord speaking. So, verse 9 says, remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High, and there is none else. I am the Most High, and there is none else like me. So that's comforting to know this is all, this basically the Most High's movie, man, and he's in control, and we pray to a power who's in control. It sure as hell ain't Esau. Esau can only go so far, and if we be part of that number, Esau can't touch us, man. Even if he have to be martyrs for this thing, he still can't touch us, man, because we're going to come back in a chariot, all right, with those who are risen up, man. So this is comforting to know that the Most High has been in control. That's what the Christian church is not teaching. And where them guys at, man? Where's the faith of these so-called Christians that were coming up against us? They're nowhere to be found, man. They're closing down the churches. You even see the Jehovah's Witnesses that be by the bus stop and whatnot. They ain't out there no more. So, like the scripture mentions in 1 Corinthians 4:9, the apostles were set forth last, man, to give you this word, because we at the end of this thing, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Those are you on that?
That's all I have on that.
Let's finish up this article. Continuing in this article from thehill.com, it says the deployments come as federal and state governments scramble to get control of the coronavirus, which has infected nearly 18,000 people and killed 239 in the U.S., according to the New York Times tally. 6 members of the National Guard have tested positive for COVID-19. So you got, it's going to be another way for the virus to spread.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you know, and just extrapolating and speaking as a man, you know, this to me, it seems very, seems like it was someone somewhere was using this as a biological weapon. But we know that these countries have the vast majority of these diseases in their, in their possession. And just like Esau has done it of old, did it particularly with the nation of Gad, the so-called Native Americans, also with Reuben, also with really all the tribes in America. He's used biological warfare as a way and manner to weaken and destroy our people, man. So like I said, speaking as a man, it seems very likely this is a military weaponized biological weapon. It goes to show you that they also more likely have the so-called cure or treatment or vaccine already. They're just using this as a situation to push more, to gain more control and more leverage, so to speak, to control the people in the event that they buck up against the implementation of their so-called New World Order agenda. All 50 states, as well as U.S. territories and the District of Columbia, have declared a state of emergency in response to the COVID-19 outbreak. Asked if the White House could federalize the Guard to respond to the illness, National Guard Bureau Chief General Joseph Lingiel told reporters that President Trump could do so if desired, but such a move would not make sense in this situation, which, man, this is the new Rome. Just like I believe it was Caesar enacted certain legislation power in times of Rome in order to gain control as one man. The president, especially if it's DJ Trump, he's gonna enact all the wartime powers, emergency powers, executive actions powers, executive privilege that he can, man, because he may very well be, and Lord willing he is, may very well be the spearhead or the pinnacle of the mountain, okay, that Esau Edom is using in order to finalize his reach on the planet, man. Lord willing, he is that guy. And if he is, he's going to use every power that he could possibly grasp in the book, okay, to push forward the agenda of the elites. That was an article.
I got a scripture. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Alright, and this devil is speaking of Esau Edom. Alright, the self-proclaimed white man. Alright, he has a short period of time, man. So he's basically scrambling right now, man. He's got to make his move quick in a hurry, because I think it's in Job 14. He only has an appointed time. So basically, the Most High has his ass on the hourglass, and that sand of his, this beast system is just trickling down, man. So that's comforting as well to know that he has a short period of time. But we have to be in the know. We have to let our people know, man, because there's blood on our hands if we don't tell the people, according to Ezekiel the 3rd chapter, man. So that's why this word is going out. That's why the Lord has shut down the NBA and the NHL and the movie. You can't even go to the movies no more. He's shutting down all these entertainment functions to get your attention, to say, hey, look, my prophets are out there. We were the only ones out there like last week. There's brothers that could go out. Most likely you can hear them a block down the road, man. because nobody was out there. It was literally a ghost town. So, hey, this word is still going out. You had the guy in the World Star video that was in Miami. He said he was chilling on vacation. He talked about the name of the Lord. That guy could just be used to be on World Star Hip Hop to get a Jake to be like, I did hear about the Hebrew Israelites. Like, yeah, I did hear about Yahweh Shema. Let me go watch these videos. So everything has a time and a purpose. And with this devil, all right, his purpose was to be the wicked, to show us righteousness so we can prepare ourselves to get ready for the kingdom of heaven.
That's it. You got anything else?
That's all I got.
All right, this is Ezekiel chapter 38. I start at verse 10. Thus saith the Lord power, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land. So this place of unwalled villages is going to America, man. And you American people have been able to dwell safely without care. All right, to have your American Diddy Bop down the street. For you Edomites, you Edomite men, women, and children should just feel like you're enabled to live your best fucking life. All right, in which Yahweh Shai has heard and is hearing the cries and supplications of his people, man. Okay, beginning with the men, okay, and the men and dealing primarily also with his servants, the prophets, hearing these prayers, the cries, supplications, and also hearing the curses, man, and enjoying every second of Deuteronomy 30:7 come to pass, and all the curses in which we've faced should even go into the split of these households, man.
Right.
The coronavirus, COVID-19, forcing a lot of you people, a lot of you Edomites and heathens to actually live with your fucking demon children, okay, is leading to more demons coming into your household, man. When you got Jake coming together now, man, you know what I'm saying? It may not be necessarily under the banner of Yahweh Shema Shai, but it's under the spirit of our people being reunited, man. You know, these moments is really having Jake families come back together, man. You know, because Jake being a spiritual people, even though they have a reverence to the Most High, but not according to knowledge, Jake being a spiritual people, man, they have a better spiritual antenna of like, man, something ain't right, man. You know, and they may not have all the answers as far as to go into the prophecies and the understanding of the Holy Bible, but that's why you have certain men who are predestined to be able to bring out the understanding in these certain key and important times. And it's also up to us too to you know, be a proper emotional gauge as well. To not walk around and be super angry or super, you know, tight or tense. To not even walk around and be you know, super excited. Just, man, I'll allow my emotions to just run their free course when Lord willing I'm beating up in the chariot, man. Because then I have to worry about if it's right or wrong. It's just right now we just focus on, like the brother said, pushing the word and gospel of Yahweh Shai into the Most High, kill discord, so to speak. Okay, and then from there, you know, it's just us, you know, continuing to follow the spirit to when the Heavenly Father Yahweh allows Yahweh Shai to come back to redeem his elect. You know, we can be found in that number, man. You got anything else out?
That's it.
So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, before we close out, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the lead teacher grew well. Love and honors to you, author, pushing the word in true faith as you see it across the four corners. Until next time, shalom.